10-0, had it right in sight. What do you think made it turn around in the second half?
Well, I think, first of all, from a first-half perspective, we really kind of accomplished our goals as far as maintaining the ball and playing relatively good defense. I think the trick play that they utilized late in the first half allowed them to get a 10-point lead. We just needed to convert on a couple of the possessions that we had in their territory. Andy Schmidt was just a little rusty from not practicing the week before and missed Tyler Jones and then Josh LeDuc on different possessions that probably would have led to scores for us. So, you know, we felt decent about the first half.
What do you think was the idea that Andy was going to have to pass a lot because Ball State's defense was pretty good?
Well, what Ball State's philosophy was is to really load the box with, you know, 7, 8 guys, and even 9 sometimes near the line of scrimmage. So we decided to shrink the formation down and use flanker eye and run right at them, which we had some success early, but then eventually go to a 4 and 5 wide receiver passing attack, which obviously led us to 300-plus yards, and just some conversions in the scoring red zone would have allowed us to score more points.
Corey Stone's obviously been a pleasant surprise, continuing his play from last year, but now people seem to have to worry more about Tyler Jones and now about Josh LeDuc, so it gives you pretty strong three-prong attack.
Yeah, we really feel good about our receiving core, not only from a playmaking ability, but they've really been catching the ball consistently. Tyler Jones had a career day with 11 receptions for over 100 yards and really was kind of in the zone, if you will. He wanted the ball. He knew he had an advantage on one of their safeties. And Josh LeDuc continues to improve and is a huge target for Andy, and they're starting to develop a rhythm, as is the case with Marvon Sanders also. So we feel really good about those 4 receivers.
You mentioned Tyler. He seemed to have a little extra. After he was done with every play, it was like, I'm the guy to get the ball to.
Yeah, he just really kind of felt like he had some advantages. We had really set up some nice schemes where they were trying to take away our outside receivers, so we knew he would have a one-on-one matchup, really with the whole middle of the field at Tyler's disposal. Andy started feeling Tyler's energy and started really looking for him, even in some cases when he shouldn't have, but Tyler was making so many plays that Andy kept putting the ball up for him.
Kind of looking at the stats over the game by game, Brett Orman is a kid that the first several games, no blip on the radar at all. And all of a sudden, 5 games in a row, keeps getting better and better and better.
Yeah, he's been one of our more pleasant surprises on defense. You know, after losing, Eric Young, Jason Jones, and Darren Matthews last year, really some guys that could make plays for us. We really have been hoping that somebody from the defensive line would step up, and Brad Orman is definitely that guy. He's been very relentless. He seems to be in great condition where he's got the same energy level and intensity in the fourth quarter that he does early on. But he's also an instinctual football player and really kind of understands where he needs to fit, where the ball may be going, what the offense is trying to do, and then he can really put a knife in it with some of his defensive plays.
For the second week in a row, you're playing a team that's had an off week before you play them. What does that mean for them?
Well, first of all, it means that the other team is going to be well rested, and probably a lot of their short-term injuries are really healed up. And so we really faced then a Ball State team and Western Michigan near full strength, which have also had a chance to look at our 8 games and really analyze what we do schematically. So it's an advantage, but there also is an aspect that you can come out a little rusty, and I think Ball State did early on with some incomplete passes, and so hopefully that'll be the case with Western.
Western seems to be a team that's really relying on the pass first and the run. Is that what you think they're going to do?
I think that initially when I had heard some of the stats, I thought that to be the case. But after watching some film, I really think that they're still running the Western Michigan offensive system, Coach Cubitt's system, and they're going to attempt to run the ball if you defend the pass, and they will do conversely the opposite. So I think that what's happened is that Tim Hiller is really making a lot of plays. He's been very accurate with the ball. He's been getting rid of it on time. Even if you blitz him, he gets rid of it and finds his receivers. And so he's playing at a higher level, and I think that's why they've leaned a little bit more to the pass.
I think they're 6-2 now, and after Eastern Michigan shuts them out last year on offense, do you think this becomes a red-letter game for them?
Well, I think that they've certainly put some emphasis on it, not to speak for them and be in their locker room, but certainly the fact that last year we did win, I think it's allowed them to probably put some more emphasis on it in conjunction with having 2 weeks to talk about that. So I would agree with you.
Now, just looking ahead a little bit, I know you don't like to look at opponents ahead, but all you have to look at ahead now is 2 weeks of open dates.
Right. Well, that's going to be a challenge for us, to be off, to have in-between games over 20 days. And, we'll attempt to really get healed up ourselves because we do have an inordinate number of injuries, work on our strength and conditioning level with our strength staff, do some recruiting, and get out on the road. So we're going to be very productive in that time, but it is certainly a long break in between games from Western Michigan to Temple.
We've got 3 kids coming back to the Kalamazoo area, and they're all kind of in the mix, which is kind of unusual. So
Sure.
you think that's special for those guys?
Absolutely. I think Andrew Fretz has been a 3-year starter for us. He's one of our best offensive linemen. I think he, in fact, I was joking with him because he had a little bit of an ankle injury coming out of the Ball State game. I said, what would it take to keep you out of this game? And he basically said nothing could keep him out of this game, that he would always find a way to play regardless of the situation. And I think the other kids, feel the same way. It's a big game for them, and I think that they're really excited about going back to Waldo Stadium and performing.
A kid like Ben Thayer, who really was a non-factor probably over the past times he's played him, is now pretty much in the mix in a lot of different areas.
Yeah, Ben is our backup quarterback, and he's our third tight end who's seeing a decent amount of action. He's really improved, and as soon as he can put a little more weight on, right now he weighs 225. As soon as he gets to 235, 240, he could really be a factor with 2 years left because he can really run well and catches the ball at a very high level.
And Tyler Kalsrock came back last week, and after a couple weeks of injury, seemed to have a little motor.
Yeah, I think Tyler hurt his knee and was out for 4 weeks. Good to have him back. Creates a lot of competition for Brandon Slater and Ryan Kuhlman, and I know he'll be excited to play also.
First leg of the Michigan MAC Trophy battle. How important is that to keep that in the team building?
Well, I think it's important to our players. It's one of the things that we've had some success. It's something that they can really tangibly see and visualize, and it's something that we really prioritize in the program. So I think we'll get a great effort out of our players.